Have you ever wondered what goes on inside a dog's mind? Do they remember? Do they grieve? This story might just give you an answer. In the heart of the countryside lived an old farmer named Briggs. His life was simple, marked by the rising sun and the crow of his rooster. But his most constant companion was his golden retriever, Buddy. For years, Buddy was more than a pet. He was family. Every evening, they'd sit on the porch together, Briggs in his worn-out rocking chair and Buddy at his feet. It was their sacred ritual. But one day, the rocking chair sat empty. Briggs was gone. The farm fell silent, the days grew longer, and a profound sadness settled over the land. Yet one thing didn't change. Buddy remained on the porch, his eyes fixed on the empty rocking chair. Day after day, rain or shine, he was there, a loyal sentinel guarding a memory. He'd barely eat, refusing to be coaxed away from his post. The neighbors watched with heavy hearts, whispering about the dog's unwavering loyalty. What was it about that chair? What was Buddy waiting for? The farm was eventually sold to a young family, the Millers. They arrived with bright eyes and big dreams, ready to start a new life. They had a little boy named Leo, who was immediately drawn to the golden dog on the porch. The Millers were told about Buddy's strange behavior, how he never left the old rocking chair. They were warned he might be a bit distant, lost in his own world of grief. Mrs. Miller would set out food and water, speaking to him in soft, gentle tones. But Buddy would just give a slight wag of his tail, his gaze never wavering from the empty seat. He wasn't hostile, just waiting. Leo, being a curious and kind-hearted boy, was determined to befriend the sad dog. Every day, he would sit on the porch steps, a few feet away from Buddy. He wouldn't try to pet him or force him to play. He would just talk. He'd tell Buddy about his day at school, about the frog he found by the creek, about his favorite superhero. He'd read his comic books out loud, his small voice filling the quiet air. Buddy, in turn, would listen. His ears would twitch, and sometimes he'd let out a soft sigh, as if understanding every word. It was a slow, delicate dance of friendship, a bridge being built between a lonely boy and a grieving dog. One sunny afternoon, Leo brought out his favorite blue blanket and a worn teddy bear. He carefully laid the blanket on the porch, not too close to the chair, but not too far either. He placed the teddy bear on it and then sat down himself. "See, Buddy?" he said softly. "Mr. Snuggles is here to keep us company. He's a good listener, just like you." Buddy watched him, his amber eyes filled with a deep, ancient sadness. For the first time, he shifted his position, turning his head fully towards the little boy. A flicker of something new, something other than just waiting, appeared in his eyes. He seemed to be considering the boy's offer of companionship. The days turned into weeks. Leo's daily porch sessions became a part of the farm's new rhythm. He learned that Buddy wouldn't fetch a ball or chase a stick. Buddy's game was a quiet one, a game of presence, of shared silence, of being there. Leo accepted this. He understood that Buddy wasn't just any dog. He was a dog with a story, a dog with a broken heart. He learned to appreciate Buddy's quiet strength, his unwavering loyalty. And in doing so, Leo was learning about love, loss, and the profound depth of a dog's devotion. He wasn't just trying to fix the sad dog anymore. He was becoming his friend on the dog's own terms. One evening, a fierce thunderstorm rolled in. The sky turned a dark, angry gray, and rain lashed against the farmhouse. Mrs. Miller called for Leo to come inside, her voice tight with worry. But Leo refused. "I can't leave Buddy," he shouted over the wind. "He's scared of storms." Mrs. Miller looked out and saw her son, huddled on the porch steps, trying to shield the old dog with his small body. Buddy was trembling, not from the cold, but from fear. The thunderclaps sounded like cannons, and with each one, the dog would flinch. It was then that Leo did something he had never dared to do before. Slowly, inch by inch, he crawled from his spot on the steps towards the rocking chair. He moved with a gentleness that belied his young age. He reached Buddy, who was pressed against the legs of the chair as if trying to merge with it. Leo didn't try to pull him away. Instead, he wrapped his arms around the dog's thick golden fur. He buried his face in Buddy's neck and whispered, "It's okay, I'm here. We'll get through it together." The storm raged on, but on that porch, a small boy and a loyal dog found shelter in each other. For the first time since Farmer Briggs had passed, Buddy leaned into the touch. He wasn't just enduring the comfort, he was accepting it. When the storm finally passed, leaving a clean, rain-washed world behind, something had shifted. The invisible wall around Buddy's heart had a crack in it. The next morning, when Leo came out to the porch, Buddy wasn't just staring at the chair. He looked at Leo and his tail gave a real, hopeful wag. He nudged the boy's hand with his nose. It was a small gesture, but for Leo, it felt like the sun breaking through the clouds. He sat down, and Buddy rested his heavy head on Leo's lap. They sat there for a long time, watching the sunrise paint the sky, a new chapter beginning. The rocking chair remained. It was still a sacred spot, but it was no longer a symbol of just loss. It now represented enduring love and the start of a new friendship. Buddy would still spend time near it, but he was no longer alone in his vigil. Leo was always there with him. They'd share snacks, stories, and comfortable silence. Buddy started to play a gentle game of tug-of-war with an old rope, a short chase after a rolling pinnacle. The light came back into his eyes. He was still Farmer Briggs's dog, but now he was Leo's dog too. One day, an old pickup truck rumbled up the driveway. A woman with kind eyes and a familiar smile stepped out. It was Farmer Briggs's daughter, who had come to collect a few last mementos. She saw Leo and Buddy on the porch, a perfect picture of companionship. Her eyes filled with tears. "That was my father's chair," she said softly, "and that was his best friend." She then told Leo the full story. She explained how her father and Buddy were inseparable. How in his final days, when he was too weak to walk the fields, he would sit in that chair and tell Buddy stories, just like Leo did. The chair wasn't just furniture. It was the last place Buddy had been with his best friend. It was the heart of the farm. The woman smiled through her tears. "My father would be so happy," she said, looking at Leo. "He would be so happy to know that Buddy found a new boy to share the porch with." Leo's heart swelled. He finally understood the depth of Buddy's loyalty. It wasn't just about a chair. It was about holding on to the last piece of a love that big. And by sharing that space, by offering his friendship without demands, Leo had helped Buddy see that it was okay to love again. The story of the dog and the empty chair became a local legend, a testament to the fact that a dog's love never truly dies. It just waits for a new heart to share it with. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more.